welcome to another episode of Good Vibes Only. Today I have Esther and Ashley here with me of Mending Matters. We're here in El Cajon, San Diego.
Yes.
It's kind of warm here right now. And it's really pretty over here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and say hello.
Hi, I'm Esther Izquierdo-Hemen, co-founder of Mending Matters.
Hi, I'm Ashley Sartini. I'm one of the co-founders of Mending Matters.
And Mending Matters, can you tell them a little bit about what it is? I know you guys are, we're out of school, by the way, so we're out of high school right now.
Yep.
So give them a little background of maybe how you guys started it, what made you want to start Mending Matters.
Okay. Yeah, so we're both therapists. I actually went to graduate school for social work, and she did marriage and family therapy. We worked together prior to this, and we started seeing, gaps in services and holes and things that we noticed that needed to be improved, or different ideas that we had, especially being the age that we are and how we connected with students. So we decided one day, let's try and let's do something, let's create something even better. And that's kind of how Mending Matters started, with just that little idea, and we took it from there and perfected it. Not that it's perfect right now in any sense of the word. But so what we do right now is we create and implement mental health programs for high school students.
I think our vision was to increase access to services for students. So we believe that is possible by being where they are, which doesn't get much better than high school campus. So that's why we picked high school campuses. That's where we see ourselves going forward, and just being in youth communities, because when they know where we're at, they come to us, which is something we've seen happen over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to talk more about children in general, like what made you choose students instead of maybe adults, like teenagers, or the age that you work with, specifically high school students, right?
I think specifically for me, and I'll let you speak, it was largely my personal experience, what happened growing up, and what I needed as a high school and also as a college age person, and how much it would have benefited me to have what we're offering the students. That's where I always kind of maintain my focus, and so be able to now do what I would have wanted, I guess, kind of like honoring my past experiences by giving to the students today. That's what keeps us motivated, I think.
I think for me, what I love about working with teenagers is they're at this age where they are very primed for growth. When you get a little bit younger, there's less maturity, and then once you get into adulthood, you become very set in your ways. And it's very hard to kind of help empower adults versus and or young children. But teenagers are just they're ready, they're hungry for connection, for knowledge, and I feel like there's so much growth you can see happen, even in the smallest of senses, just from being able to, have really low self-esteem to finishing the school year. I'm confident. Mm-hmm. I'm happy with myself is huge, which I think is sometimes harder to see in older adults.
Yeah, I would add, for me at least, I've noticed that I think when you're transitioning from that middle school to high school phase, that is very awkward.
Yes.
There's so much pressure around you to be a certain way, and I guess just be like everybody else, kind of everybody's just trying to formulate their views on you and throw them on you, and it is a very there's just that age where you're just very prone to kind of going in different ways because of the peer pressure around you.
Totally. I would add too that I think for anyone, and especially adults, can really relate to what it was like to be in high school and to be a teenager. And regardless of your background or the way you were raised, we all have similar experiences in terms of what we went through, emotionally, and our physical changes, and then socially being present with all of these young people that are your age. And there's just so many things that happen. I'm a firm believer, and I know I can speak for us, is that we feel all teenagers could benefit. It doesn't really, there's no discrimination of who could benefit from our programs, which is really, I think, unique.
So do you guys work with the students all year round? very individual, or is it more like group?
Both. We do try to engage students during the summer. It's a little bit more difficult because it's summer and they want to have a good time. But throughout the school year, we're doing individual, so one-on-one therapy, one-on-one programs, one-on-one support. We do crisis support too, so any students that may not be working with a therapist but they need someone to talk to for maybe a more serious issue like suicidal ideation, or they're concerned about a friend, to a breakup with a girlfriend or boyfriend and they need someone to talk to, or maybe they had a fight with their parents before they came to school. And then we do a lot of group work. So we have youth meet together, males and females. We like to keep them separate, but it's just like we build a really amazing culture of student support.
Do you think, have you noticed like maybe students that started at the beginning of the year very closed off, they want to talk to you, and then by the end of the year they're very open?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't even think it takes the whole year.
No, it only takes a couple weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of kids, especially on one of the campuses, this campus in particular, a lot of the students are required to do a certain amount of counseling, and they're like, oh, counseling, I'm not going to counseling, and they come, and the first couple of weeks, they're not too into it, and then it's like they can't wait to come, and it's just like we get new referrals, one right after another, and it's great. And they're telling their peers about it. So a lot of kids are like, oh yeah, my friend told me to come to group today. Okay, cool. Welcome to group.
Yeah, and I think it's they also like find that they have a community, and like we kind of mentioned, they're all from such different backgrounds, and they can be from completely different ethnicities and cultural beliefs, but then the fact that they all sit in this room together and they find commonalities, they're like, oh, whoa, you're just like me, you know? So I think that as an adolescent is such a good feeling, because you said you're the whole time trying to find where you belong.
Yeah.
And so then to walk into a room and be like, oh, okay, I belong right here. That, even as an adult, you want that. Yeah, it feels good.
Because we like that human connection. We kind of crave that in a way, whether we're
we all
kids
do.
or adults.
Right. Yeah, we're all humans, and you need that. Yeah.
I was gonna type this. Oh, okay. So you guys are young women, beautiful women. For anybody, so I guess I would consider you guys social entrepreneurs. Do you say that?
Thank you.
Definitely, yes.
So you are now.
Yes.
But it's not just about making profit or anything like that. Not to, say anything about people who do have a business that want to make money. That's not against you. I'm just saying this is social entrepreneurship, which I think is a very big, what's the word? It's the way that we're shifting, I think, towards more social good and social entrepreneurs. Is there any advice, inspirational tips that you give people who want to not maybe do exactly what you're doing, but just something good to the world? Want to give back in some way? Know where to start or what to do?
I would say don't give up on the idea of doing it. I think that we can get caught up in the just the belief of failure, right? Which is such a scary thing already. I know that if we talk about this, if we would have known all the hiccups we've had, we may have said, no, we can't do that. Let's not do it. Let's be friends. But instead, we really not only formed a relationship, obviously, as business partners, but we created something, and we just said, let's look past the possibility of failure, and let's look at the possibility of success. And I think that that's what I would tell anybody who wants to do this, because there are so many days when you probably want to give up. I know we wanted to, but then we look at the bigger picture and we say, what we're doing is just great.
I would completely agree with that. And another thing, I think we live in a world that talks so much about success and doing things that make money, which there's nothing the matter with that, but for myself personally, I have so much job satisfaction. I love coming to work every single day. And there are days that are really difficult, don't get me wrong, but it was taking something I was passionate about and just putting all of my energy into that. And I think a lot of times we put our passions to the side, or the things we enjoy to the side, and not focus on them just because, we're not going to make enough money to be fulfilled. And I don't know. I just think when you are happy with what you're doing, you bring so much good to the world. Those like little gestures and the little things. I would just say that you are never alone. I think a lot of times, especially as a teenager, you feel completely alone, that somebody doesn't understand you or nobody gets you, nobody ever will. And one of the things, and like Esther was saying, is so many teenagers, so many adults have gone through what you're going through, and finding a space, an outlet, a person, someone safe to talk to can be like just make the hugest difference in your life. So just that you're never alone.
I would also add, just on like the mental health part of that, is stigma is obviously it's still there. You know, the idea of mental health is kind of like a hidden, not a nice topic that people like to talk about. But I would encourage people who know somebody who's going through something, or if it's you yourself, like Ash said, just ask for help. You know, reach out to somebody. There's people like us in the community. There's people like us in your schools. And we hope that people kind of also, like, who are watching this, see that this is something that matters, that schools and students really need this. And that's why we're doing it, you know?
Since you said matters, what made you guys come up with the name Mending Matters? I like
Esther,
it.
you gotta give this one.
Well, we wanted to, you know, tie in a bunch of words, like just ideas and visions that we had in our head. And mending, as you know, means so much. It means fixing, it means putting things together. We thought of our stories of students and all of the youth that we have served that really inspired us. And that kind of brought up that word, you know, the fixing, the sewing, the mending. And then that it matters, but also not just that mending, like the fixing aspect matters, but also like the matters of your heart. So mending those type of matters. And it just, you know, it worked, you know, and so far people have caught on.
Yes, we have officially have a brand now. I'm going to Mending Matters.
I really like it. I think it's cute.
Thank you.
What are your visions for the future?
We have big dreams. I'll say that. Very, very big dreams. I know I can speak for both of us when I say we want to be present on every high school in San Diego. And I don't think there's a teenager out there that couldn't benefit from knowing that there's a safe place on your campus to go talk about anything that's happening to you.
I agree. That's our vision, just to expand our services and have students know that there is a place, like Ashley said, for them to get help.
Yeah, I think that's important because a lot of students feel alone, like what you guys were saying. They feel like they don't have anybody to talk to or anybody to go to. And it's hard. At that age, you don't want to talk to anybody. You kind of want to just retreat within. That's how I was at that age. I just kind of sit in my room and cried if I felt like crying, you know. I didn't go and talk to anybody. Even your parents, like, it's like you can't. I mean, some people have a close relationship with their parents.
Yeah.
Others don't feel comfortable enough. So I guess it's just all in children. Where can we reach you on social media?
Our Instagram.
And our Tumblr.
Yes.
Tumblr too? Cool.
We're on Tumblr,
Our Tumblr is really popular. We're still working on Facebook and Twitter.
Yes.
But we are on there as well.
Okay.
And on our website, you can find all of our social media sites.
Yes.
Awesome. And you're a 501c3?
Yes,
Yes,
we are.
we
So
are.
people can donate.
Yes, please.
Support our programs. Support our
Help us
teenagers.
create more programs.
Yes.
Absolutely.
More high
Maybe you guys will
schools.
be throughout all of California.
That'd be awesome.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I think that's nice.
Maybe the entire United States. You never know.
Maybe.
Never know. Dream big, right?
Exactly. Dream big for real. Well, thank you guys for taking the time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it. I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you so
We
much.
appreciate the good that you're putting into the world. And that's it for Good Vibes Only this week.
Thank you.